Traders, good morning to everybody and welcome to the 44 Trading Room. Welcome to a Thursday here as we start to look into the weekend here. We've got a lot of stuff going on today. A lot of stocks in play, a lot of volatility. Um, Let me grab this here. Yes, okay. And we got a lot of stuff going on today, a lot of volatility and a lot of great stocks moving this morning. A lot of earnings out there, a lot of earnings to come today. We got Apple on deck today as well. Um, Yesterday, okay, Meta, the airlines, IBM, big time moves. Microsoft, not so much. We'll see what the market does when it digests that today as we get into the day this morning. Stock futures this morning almost flat. We'll talk about Asia in the overnight session where we saw the Asian stocks take off. The Nikkei was up 17, Hong Kong Hang Seng up 141, Shanghai and China up 8. Europe, which is still in session, just the German DAX down. DAX is down 208. FTSE in UK up 103, and the CAC 40 in Paris up 72. Combine that with Asia, we've got 5 markets up, 1 market down, which just happens to be the German DAX. Puts pressure on the upside to the U.S. futures, and that's what we have. Dow futures are up 1. NASDAQ futures up 7 3/4, and the S&P 500 futures up 9, up 10 points now as we get into this Thursday session. If you're in the oil patch this morning, oil is up $2.66 to 65.87. That's a 4% swing, up 4.21%. As Trump weighs strikes on Iran. So, natural gas is up as well. Gold up another 4% to 5,530.70. Silver's up $7 to 121.26. Copper's up, platinum's up, palladium is up as well. Palladium is up $99 this morning, up almost 5%, and platinum is up over 6% this morning. Climate of fear, ICE violence in Minnesota. That's the big headline news. Oil prices in the news again as Trump is thinking about striking Iran. And then General Motors in the news, the auto industry's profit, politics, and balancing act under Trump. They're doing all that they can to maximize that. Their stock is up over 70%. And that's a good thing for the company and their CEO, Mary Barra. So that's a big deal and outpacing their competitors as well. That's about it. Starbucks in the news today, reintroducing their Tiers of Loyalty program, which went away, I think, 2 years ago. And that's really about it this morning. So this is going to be one of those days. I'm going to put ASML up here as well today, and we'll talk about that one and a slew of others here just in a couple of minutes. So good morning to Steve Clifton. Good morning, Farah. Good morning to you. Thank you for posting. Appreciate that. You plan to move to Asia. Okay, great. ChatGPT, yep, telling me because of ping, create delay, impossible to trade from Asia. Don't know that. Trying to remember people. Yep, perfect. Okay, Michael, good morning to you. Yep, Christian, good morning. Scott V, good morning. Let's talk about some stocks this morning as we get into the day today. I'll post the first alert here, and posting the first alert will be the NVDA trade 191.50, NVDA long over 191.50. That stock, if we get a move in the market higher, that's one that I want to see. Meta over the 7, here's the breakout right here, it will be over 743. So Meta 743. I know it's a long way away, and I know it's an upside breakout, but again, this stock is on fire. You know, the stock is up, what is that, 70 points, coming up on 70 points from yesterday. So just be careful at the top, but again, it could be a nice breakout formation here as we get into the day. The last one that I like, the IBM trade 318 on IBM. If again, the momentum continues with these stocks, this is the one to be in here this morning with great news yesterday coming out. We got more news today with earnings coming out. I've got CRM up here to the downside. That's going to be the 216 mark on CRM. This will be my short this morning. CRM to the downside at 216 break. And then we add on the way down. Last but not least, MU this morning, 442. We'll post this one to the upside here. So we've got lots to choose from here, lots going on. And that's where we are this morning. Those of you on YouTube this morning, thank you for following us. Thank you for being part of the greatest trading community on the planet. We certainly appreciate that. And we are ready to rock and roll this morning. I hear DVG is here. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
Scott, you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. Thank you.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, 44 Traded Nation. Some news. We got some news, plenty of it. I think this is no longer a rising tide lifts all ships. It's really more about the story. Obviously, some earnings coming out. Fed decided not to change rate, and that was kind of what was really overall expected. But now they're focused on growth and really, whether big technology companies can justify their big AI spend. We saw that in names like Meta, which clearly, I mean, they delivered one of the strongest earnings reports of the season. Both revenue, advertising growth, forward guidance. I mean, everything just green, 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 and they loved it. Look at the price; it's gone through the roof, back up to the 700s, and really kind of being treated as one of the clearest winners in this AI plus era. Whereas Microsoft, let's talk about their earnings for a minute. They beat top and bottom, yet shares are plummeting, and I think that part of it was their Azure growth was still pretty strong, but not up to expectation for investors, so it seems. Um, Kind of focusing on this narrative around, hey, AI is great, but only if it produces revenue. So I'm looking more broadly at all software companies. So looking at CRM, looking at MongoDB. I mean, you guys see my watch list is pretty extensive today. Datadog, there's quite a few. Snowflake, and even ServiceNow, who also reported. And I would say that they were one of the biggest losers of of all. And I think it's because their AI integration costs were brought up and margin pressures were brought up. So I know IBM, Tesla is probably one worth mentioning as well. But I think they actually spoke a little bit more about Optimus on the earnings call, I'd say they're more or less flat to up. But fundamentally, keeping an eye on this earnings and this narrative and this storyboard where AI, we've seen this huge push for the last year and a half, and I think people are starting to get privy to what that actually means to businesses. So I'll keep an eye on the names I mentioned in the watch list. Overall, though, my push will likely be to the downside, with the exception of a few names like Meta, maybe even Energy. I'll keep an eye on Energy on the side, but that's all I have at the moment. Scott, back to you.
Yeah, and I think we're going to we're going to open up extremely flat on the market, so we're going to be looking for direction. If that direction is down, we'll start shorting some things. If the direction is up, we'll take some small share size to go higher, and that should lead us hopefully to the promised land today. And with these markets, we've got about a minute left. So again, traders in the room, post your trades here, post your watch lists here in the room. Let's gain from that, and then let's be focused on any type of move that you see. Post. I've got my 10, 12 stocks up here right now, and we will continue monitoring. I think you're going to see stocks like Meta really take off here this first candle, and then I don't know where we're going to go with the stock. It could, it could retrace a little bit, or this day could really have this upside move in the bag. So we'll wait and watch.
Anytime I see earnings like this, anybody want to guess what the first thing we do is on that first candle move to the upside or downside? I like to use the anchored VWAP. So snap that if you can. Do the disclaimer, it's not financial advice. Let's keep an eye on that. Meta has a chance to retrace about 716 as of the open, potentially for a bounce there, but I don't know if it's going to retrace at all. I have a feeling this thing all-time high is 796.25 is all-time high. So let's be mindful of that it definitely has some room to the upside. Good luck, traders.
Let's have a great day, traders. Market is open right now. Okay, grab one thing here before we kick in. Okay, there we go.
Also watching CrowdStrike at the moment on the short. CrowdStrike likely today as well.
There's the IBM move lower. Tesla MU lower. CRM already broke that 216. There we go.
Wow, snowflake just straight down.
CRM getting throttled this morning. Dow's down 8, NASDAQ's down 33. Need to have some direction here. You might get Meta to sell off today. We'll see. We'll see what happens here.
I think I'm definitely favored to the downside on almost everything. Almost. The canary in the coal mine. Look at Microsoft down 432.
NVDA, nice move. Not sure what to do with Meta, if anything. Yep, AMD. Wow. AMD just soaring right now. Yep. ISRG. Take a look at it. Yep, down, down, down. Look at NVIDIA. Wow. What's that top side right there? Coming up on it.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not scared to get in. I'm just waiting here. NASDAQ down 80 points. NVIDIA with a breakout. AMD breaking out big time
Coin
now.
is down at 203 right now. Might get interested down there.
Take a look at coin here where the CRM play is. Mm-hmm.
$204 maybe.
That's there
On
right
coin.
now.
Yeah, I don't know how low it's gonna go. I think the coin could benefit if this destabilizing dollar
Kim coming into
moves.
IBM right here, 318.50 IBM long. 318.50. I listed at 318 pre-market, but now I've got some direction here. I'd like to take this long. I am long right now.
Qs are now aiming lower.
Yep. Just got filled right under 318 here.
Look at Tesla straight down. Mm-mm.
320 will be my target on it.
Oracle straight down. CRM, let's see. I'm watching coin around 204. I might get interested. 202.50 would be ideal for an entry, but I can wait. Q's aiming sharply to the downside. might bounce right here. We might. Keeping an eye on 204 on coin. Okay, we're just down in the 203s. Perfect. 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 202.50 is where I'd like to get involved.
Look at NVDA. I think I'm going to pick up some NVDA here. 320 target on IBM and NVDA. Let me take a look at this real quickly here. I like it right here at 191.
Okay, I'm going to put a 204 in case I get filled on coin. And then a 202.50 is really, I'll just move it down to 202.50. Q's
Yeah, I
now
like
down
coin
at
here. I might
630.
nibble with you here.
Definitely trying to catch a falling knife a little bit here, but I'm watching the options chain a bit. So Q's now down, just broke 630. It's not good.
ISRG coming down. AMD, big pullback here, and I'm going to come into AMD. This could be my second trade of the day. So let's put it up here, and we'll put it right where the Meta is, because I don't think I'm going to come into Meta today. AMD here. We'll put Meta up on my other screen.
Okay, we're in coin, 204.
255 on AMD.
We will start size there, but if it goes down to 202.50, I'll add to a losing trader. I just want to build a position on coin. I do think that they'll likely be a benefactor of some of this debasement talk. So I can get it cheap, cool. I'll hang on to it for a while, but
Okay, I'm long AMD. Long AMD. I don't think I posted that. Sorry, guys, ladies. AMD 255. I'm going to add at, let's see, 256. I'll add the full share size here. So I'm just going to start nibbling here.
I'm tempted to buy some Microsoft, but I have a feeling it's going to pump up to like 438, 439, and then dump even more. Because look at the Qs. The Qs are just displaying nothing but weakness right now.
Yep.
Here comes Meta. Again, I'm keeping an eye on that 716. I mean, arguably I could have shorted it right out the gate. I could have just gotten run over. But 716 is where I have the anchor VWAP sitting out right now. Let's see who is leading the charge. Like, look at energy. Where's Vincent at? Check out CVX, bud. It's a nice move, right? This is what I figure. Some rotation. Like, look at LNG, liquid natural gas, aka all this sub story that we've been hearing about. We're seeing some rotation out of these big tech names and into the boring stuff, I'll call it. Like Boeing, what's Boeing doing? No, it's pretty flat.
Okay, AMD looking really good here. Watch the 256 for the ad. I got IBM, AMD. I'm waiting for the coin trade to reverse here.
Are you in or not yet?
No, not yet.
Okay. Yeah, Vincent, yeah, it's all good. What did Meta bounce off of just now? 719. Okay, that's pretty close. I'll still wait. I think it's got a little ways to go. Well, actually, that just modified the anchor VWAP. Let's see what it does here. I might be going long Meta here, which I can't believe I'm saying that out loud, but I like to short Meta, but I'll wait. Snow broke 200. I think I might short Snow. Coin down to 202 now. Good. I don't mind picking up more at 250, guys. We're in at Snow. I hate going to these round numbers, guys. I really do, but I'm starting to build some of these positions. I don't want to chase either. So like I don't want to, say for example, if I wanted to short coin, get in like right now. Obviously it could continue to fall, but
320 target on IBM. 320 target IBM.
Q's bleeding out. All right, 202.50. I'm gonna put half share size down there on coin to add. Again, I don't always advocate adding to a losing trade, but I'm building a position. I want to get some decent size, assuming we get a bounce. If it starts breaking 200 bucks, I'm gonna call it a loser. But here comes Snow. If we break session lows again, I'm gonna go probably half share size on this thing. Let's see. I like it. Okay, there we go. Just added half share size to Snow. Let's see this thing fall off cliff now. Very nice. Come on, Snow. I'm watching Microsoft to see it bounce to like that 439 area and see how it behaves. I don't want to go long. I don't want to go short. I want to see it make a decision. Target on Snow will be around 195 if we can get it. And I'll put like a dollar stop, so over a little over 201. 201.15 maybe. Come on, coin. A little more. 202.50, it's sitting there.
AMD looking a little bleak right now. NVDA market's down 216 now on the NASDAQ. Dow's up 177. So
there we go. Just got half share size added to coin. I don't advise this type of trade where you're going counter trend, but I like my narrative. So I might have to have a little drawdown to get a ton of upside. Cue the disclaimer. Come on, Snow.
again, AMD hopefully will come right back up here. We'll see.
Okay, if we get over 203.15, guys, I'm going to go full share size coin. We got Snow short, coin long, and I wanted to short the Qs right out the gate. Oh well. Bloodbath today, man. What is it? Microsoft's down what? 10%? Wow. Come on, Snowflake. $203.15 will be in full share size on coin if we get up there. Basically, all the money I'm making from snow, I'm losing in coin. For now. Come on. Get 3 cents away from my fill. Okay, 1 cent away. There we go. Partial what? Partial fill. What the heck? Oh, okay, there we go. Now we're in. Full share size, guys, on coin. And snow just bounced. I don't like that. I'm going to move my stop up 201.75 on snow. Actually, let's do it 77. 201.77 on snowflake. Here we go. Honestly, I think my target on coin will be like over 210. So that might mean I have to hold it for a day. We'll see. But if we break 200 bucks, I'll reevaluate the position, we'll say.
Okay, big move now, big V bottom recovery now in some of these stocks, and
Yeah.
AMD looking good. 256 is where I'm going to enter full share size here. Nvidia now coming into this trade here as
Stop the snow.
on the Nvidia trade here. So 191.50, I'm long the stock, and let's just see if we can get both of these to really run this morning. Be great. I don't
Is
know.
it bounce higher time, you think?
I don't know. Still down 180 points.
Guys, my target for Meta was 716 and change. We hit 716.40 and completely bounced higher. So for those of you guys using anchored VWAPs, congrats, because there was your entry. There's your move higher, up 11 points. And I was paying attention to something else and didn't get a chance to fill my position there. Shoot. Hopefully some of you guys did. Anybody take Meta, by the way, long off those levels?
Okay, I'm long coin as well. COIN long here at 204. Just got in a smidgen ahead of it.
Yeah,
Look
man.
look at AMD, baby. 257 target, 257 target, AMD.
Snow didn't work out. That's okay. I'm watching AMD now.
Look at us go on AMD. Come on, baby.
Let me see what else I like in that space. NVIDIA, AVGO.
257 target.
And disk reports, by the way, guys. SNDK, they report today. And worth noting, it was at $27 in the last 52 weeks at a low. It's now at 542 at its all-time high. So yeah, it's pretty vulnerable today, needless to say. Man, Oracle's getting wrecked today. What's Google doing? Same thing, straight down. Man. You know, I like Google. Worth noting they report next week, Google.
Come on, IBM.
Same with Amazon.
I'm going to hold coin here as well.
Yeah, I'm in Pretty decent size on coin. Let's hope it works out. The trouble is, I always think of these stocks like a aircraft carrier trying to make a U-turn. Takes a little bit.
Yep.
It takes a little bit more time for it to turn around. Or it's like a speedboat, you can just turn on a dime.
IBM right back down. Wow. 202 break on coin. I'll be out. I just have small share size. AMD I have full share size, so this could be damaging, but I'm going to hold on to this here. Straight up, straight down. That's not the type of candles that you want to see here, that's for sure. NASDAQ down 250, Dow up about 14 points. Had a big, huge pullback now, and we'll see where this goes. NVIDIA, yeah, NVIDIA stop will be under the low candle right here, this red spike. That is, oops, this a little higher, there we go. Let's get this one dialed in, 190.15. Still holding on to coin?
Same. I'm giving it to like under 200 bucks. I know that's not ideal, but I might take an L today on that, but I don't know. Options are okay to the downside. Watching Meta now. Yeah, these markets are not stopping to the downside here.
Still holding AMD. 202 is my stop on coin. We're right there right now.
AMD bouncing off the close there. Danger zone there.
Come on, AMD, don't do it to us. No, because I have the full share size trade on AMD. That's And I'm worried now that coin has got further downside right to 200, which I mean, I could still stick in there with it, but it's not the right thing to do here. I just have a couple hundred shares. That's why I'm still in it.
I get to meet my accountant today in 4 minutes.
Really.
Yay!
I don't
Fingers
think I'd
crossed
be.
I actually get something back this year, but I highly doubt it. So I'll definitely be back after that conversation, but step away for a few minutes in a few, like 10 o'clock. Need coin to bounce. That would be nice. I don't know, man. AMD looking kind of fickle up here. Might short it actually. I don't want to while you're in a trade though. Coin getting wrecked on my position now, which sucks.
Yeah, me too on coin.
Let's see. Everything in my mind, short, short, short. I thought maybe coin would get a little bit of a, take out and
A
then
little
break out.
bounce at the bottom here. Probably not till 200 now.
Yeah. So I'll have to weather the storm. It's fine. Man, the Qs are just straight down now. Straight down. I'll be back around, I don't know, 10:45, 11, something like that when I'm done with this guy. Be back in a bit, Scott.
Yep, no doubt. Come on. Okay, I'm out of the NVDA trade with a loss. NVDA with a loss. Market down 363 now. Yeah, good point, Michael. Yeah. Okay, I'm out AMD with a loss, and that one hurt. I'm red for the day. No stop in sight. I'd rather be flat right now than trying to battle this downward move. And I don't think like a stock like AMD, like I would be wanting to short it, right? So look at that. Look at NVDA. Wow, straight down. Feeling it today now. Kind of what I thought this morning, after the good news and hype on some of the stocks like Meta, people are going to take profit. There's no doubt. But let me see what. How's Meta surviving? Yeah, Meta's just fine. Apple is today, right? Yep. Wow, look at AMD now and NVDA. Crazy, man. Coin two. Ooh. I don't know. I think I would think I'd like to bottom feed on NVDA here. I think I'm going to take some at 189, 189 NVDA. I'm going to go long here, just nibbling. Why not, right? Target's going to be 190 and a quarter. I think coin would be a great buy right here at 200. But maybe since we just punched through, maybe we're going to see further downside here. 190 and a quarter. That's all I'm looking for. Look at AMD. Yeah, I mean that's why you get out of it, right? That's why you have those stop losses. We'll see here. 188.75 on NVDA. Come on. Wow, AMD straight down the toilet. NASDAQ down 385 today. I don't have a winning trade right now. The only thing I'm in right now is NVDA. Still hoping we get a bounce here. Yeah, that and love Southwest Airlines. Yeah, I think so, Rick. I mean, think about it. When the market's down 400 points, right? What if the market reversed here? You would think that IBM would start to track higher. Things like even Apple today, MU, Meta. Meta's been totally flat for the day. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here for sure. maybe a recovery. I don't know. We're still down 383. We've got a little bit of gas in the tank here to the upside. We'll see what happens. Yep. Yeah, sold off that in gold, right? I wonder if Amir was on that. Yep. Any type of move just thwarted by selling here, especially AMD. It looks like it's going to break the bottom on that 248. AMD flushing now. Wow. I mean, sooner or later, I mean, coin's down, what, 11 points? And now AMD not looking good either, down 5 and getting worse. Come on. Yeah, the only thing I'm in is NVDA. Apple hanging out pretty well right now, too. Yeah, Marna, wow. Nice upside move, breaking out of 47. Trace, I'll be right back. Just give me a moment. I just took a call from somebody that is like, hey man, you think I should get in the markets right now? I'm like, well, it's discounted more than what it was yesterday, right? So you're getting a bargain. We'll see. Yeah, no, you save money, Scott. Yeah, absolutely. Wow, look at AMD go. I don't know. I mean, you could look at it one way and say, the interesting part about it is maybe I can get some shares discounted. I mean, if you look at AMD on the daily, right? By the way, I'm out of NVDA. I'm red for the day. Um, we're at 245 now. I mean, you got a long way to go to get to 200, right? Does it get down there? Probably not. Maybe 240. But not great, right? Not a great display if you're long the market, right? Trace, I'll be right back. I mean, I'm always looking for a way to go long, but I just don't. This market now down 530 points. When I tried it on NVDA, I got burned. I'm not going to try it on AMD. I mean, you don't go short at the bottom, right? Have you been short all day, Steve?
Are you there?
I'm here. Yes.
Well, we got stopped out at coin, just under $200, so that's too bad. I'll be keeping an eye on it. Frankly, because they'll be meeting with the White House next week to discuss digital asset laws, blah blah blah. So might be buying the dip along the way. I'll wait on that. I did manage to pick up a few put options on the Qs, so those are doing well. But was away on this call. I think I might get some money back this year. All right.
It's a good thing.
Yeah. Feels like market slowed down, huh? A little bit.
Yeah, it definitely slowed down, but definitely in the reverse direction here to the downside. I mean, stocks like AMD, stocks like Coin, Nvidia, Apple, everything is getting destroyed right now. MU,
Mm.
so
I think Apple reports tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And SanDisk. SanDisk will be not tonight as well. Zero bounce in the Qs. I'm just going to take some off these put options here.
nothing but down. AMD hasn't stopped. What is this? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 minutes. 5 candles straight down.
We might have a dead cat bounce around here.
Yeah. Shares, I'll be right back.
I mean, luckily I put on some put options here for the Qs, which I typically do, but thank goodness for that. So we definitely took a L on coin today, which is fine. And then we got stopped at a Snowflake. That all the software names, I'm like someone mentioned CRM. I'm totally down to short. I was down to short that one from the beginning today. I was just looking at way too many things, and by the time I could even react, we were gapping down. I didn't want to chase the trade. So used those put options kind of as a hedge, and those played out really well. So and coin hasn't stopped selling at all. Jeez. $195 is now in question. That's wild. Down 13 points from yesterday. Straight down. And since looking at some of the futures, but once 7,000 broke on the futures, man, it hasn't bounced at all. Wow.
I mean, just think if you went long AMD here at 244, thinking you're at the bottom, and now another dollar, right? I mean, it's never ending right now, and you can't get in there just to give it a try because it's you got the downside
Yeah.
move, and I hate to short such a good stock, but that's where we, like that 248 move would have given us like 5 or 6 points now. So day's not over, not even close.
No, definitely not. I was sharing with the team now, like, fortunately, I grabbed those put options on the Qs, which I do very frequently, and um, looking at certain names, whether it was Microsoft, CRM, whatever. By the time I was ready to take a trade, we already gapped down. I didn't want to chase the trade, and luckily, those put options they worked out pretty well. But took a couple trades, got stopped out of snow, stopped out of coin. All right, I think we're gonna see a bounce right around here. Let's see. Wow, AMD down to 242 and a half. Huh? Okay. Wow, S&P futures down at 6907 now, down over 100 points.
Look at AMD, how ugly.
Yeah, steady
And NVDA.
down. What's interesting? 2008. I remember people were panicking when the Nasdaq futures gapped down 100 points. Now we move, 300 points in a day.
Or today, 600.
Mm-hmm. Zero buying, guys. My initial reaction was to the downside. Thought coin might have been the exception, only because of what's happening next week. It looks like people are just getting out of the risk. We've seen the crack in the market, and here it is.
Question becomes why? It's like with decent earnings and everything, the market just sells off, chooses today, right?
I do have some thoughts there, but only because I don't want to say it's about time, but there've been a lot of, what I would say, egregious evaluations almost.
Sure.
So on the one hand, we've been the benefactors of seeing these markets move nothing but straight up. So a correction of, you know, 10%, 15%, I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
is a worthwhile number only because we've gone up 40%. So half of that, let's just say, it would make sense. Again, it doesn't have to happen in a day, but when we see a down day that's, 2%, 3%, they're not as common. They happen about 4 or 5 times a year, but specific names like a Microsoft getting whacked 10%, yeah, that'll have a huge impact. you know. Um, that said, I do think there's just a lot of growing concerns. Debasement of the US dollar, that's one. Growing geopolitical tensions, clearly it's a big deal. So I think with earnings even coming in and people realizing, let's say, example, Microsoft's Azure growth, which is really bizarre because they go from like 38%, and then I think this one was like 36 or 37% growth. And people are like, ooh, that's too small. Like that's still impressive, right? Like that's
Yeah. Yeah.
still incredible growth. But people want more. And I think the reality is like people are getting a little more concerned about this whole AI boom that everyone seems to be talking about. And the question becomes like, well, if you're not making money from it, why are you spending billions and trillions of dollars on this whole, infrastructure? So those capex expenditures naturally have an impact to the bottom dollars for the likes of Meta, Oracle, Microsoft, whatever. And so now they're factoring it in. If they see like, hey, look, we're seeing a degradation in adoption and revenue, is it really as great as we all say it is? Is it the bee's knees?
Hmm.
So some of that reticence, I think, stems from what we're seeing today. But look, let's be candid. Like every dip that we've seen has always been bought. Now, as I mentioned last year, I was saying at some point there's going to be a dip that no one buys, and that's terrifying because the growing concern for me is, and again, this is more macro play. Globalization will likely come down, and nationalism will go up. So every country will look out for itself instead of trading globally, and that may or may not have a positive impact on the U.S.
Yeah.
Again, cue the disclaimer: it's not financial advice. What do I know? To your point, day's not over.
No, day's not over, and I've seen this before. Where we make a huge recovery, but today doesn't look like it. We've got
The
we've got
juice.
a lot of earnings after the market today as well.
Okay, I'm watching maybe for a turnaround here. I'm getting rid of some of these put options here. Let's maybe look at call options on the SPY. SPY over the Qs simply because, well, if we're going to see rotation, it'll be in maybe not as much tech. So let's look at that real quick. SPY call options. Once I'm expire tomorrow. 6. Where's that at? 688. At 260 right now. Okay, I'll grab some. All right, strike 688 tomorrow. 264. We're paying for them. Let's see how we do.
Maybe a bounce off the bottom. We shall see.
Yeah, that's the only reason I'm using call options. If they're right, they become really valuable. If I'm wrong, you lose a couple $100. Well, it's decision time now. Do we give the bottom break here? Uh-oh. That's pretty ugly. A lot of volume hitting the tape right now.
Small bounce, and then we head down again.
Yeah, there's a ton of volume hitting the tape right now. So we're either going to snap lower big time, or we do find a bounce here. Directionally looks down.
Easy to see, right?
Yeah. Maybe a spike lower than a rip. A little shakeout, breakout kind of deal. Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
Breaking the bottom. I said earlier that I thought the no, there we go. I thought the AMD would run down to 240 where it has some support.
Okay, I'm going to add to the call options here. Totally doesn't have to bounce here, but I'm looking for the SPY to bounce to maybe that 688 to 690 level. Anywhere in there, and I should bank some dough here. I'm not looking to hold on to them forever. Just want to get paid quick and bounce.
Traders, I'll be right back.
Yikes. New session low here. Wow, wow, wow. If 6,900 breaks on the futures, we got a problem. Wow, Lockheed Martin, LMT. Christian asked if those calls and puts they multiply times two more or percentage gains. No, they are. Well, they're because they're derivatives by the very nature of them. There's a multiplying effect. It just depends on strike. It depends on IV. It depends on the Greeks that within the actual option itself. So the further you're out of the money, the more time that you have. Like they all have. There's a pricing mechanism that goes into that. So because mine expire tomorrow, the further it gets away from my 688 strike, I'll lose money faster, basically. But the closer I get to 688 on the SPY, in a short period of time, the faster the premium will rise. And then every dollar that you get above that, you basically see that reflected in the base cost without premium. So anyway, options a whole nother thing. But I use them often for kind of just hedges, Futures just broke 6,900. That's not good for my options here. If we bounce here, I may add even more to these call options. Looking for just a pickup off the bottom, and it'll be a dead cat bounce. But who knows? This market has been known to get pretty resilient, so we'll see. I don't like going counter trend like this, or like if I was buying stocks, I'd have to wait for validation of areas. But with options, it's a little bit easier because you can, risk a few $100 and fail. Coin at 195 now. I don't know. Second chance. Let's see. Come on, give me a bigger bounce than that. Let's see. Man, that is a lot of selling volume showing up. Which, if any bull wants to step in, that's an easy way to squeeze. Because that's new positions. That's not people selling off their profits there. I'm sure it's a blend of it, but let's see a squeeze. Come on, baby. Right off the bottom. Again, target's going to be, again, anywhere in that 688 area. I'll take some off. There we go. Call options doing well. Let's see him grow a little more now. I'd like to see something print over $3 on him. That'd be great. Ta-da! DB Jills. I still got a couple good trades in me. What can I say? IMB back in. Just a very small 312. IMB. Okay. IBM. Yeah, okay, cool. Look at this, baby. 687 print. Let's go. Let's get a little more, please. I'd like to see these options print over $3. Making them, since I added a little bit under my cost basis, is around $2.53. And they're printing 280 right now. Up about 30 cents. Need to see a move higher right now, or let's see. What would that around there? Yeah, I'll wait for 689-ish, 688 and change. I think we get it here. Should be one candle though. And I would equate that to like the dead cat bounce. 688, 88 would be ideal, but if that turns into a ceiling, then we're going to probably end up going lower. So right now I'm just looking for that dead cat bounce and then walk away. The only trouble I have right now on the SPY, I'm looking at the 55 SMA. It's running right into it right now and seeing some rejection. But I'm looking at the order flow right now, and it looks like we should get a little bit more of a push unless those sellers start stepping in again. There we go. Let's see if we get a little more push on the SPY here. Looking for 688 plus, guys. We're above $3 on the tape here for these options. Beautiful trade here for those of you guys took it. We're up over 50 cents on these. Sitting on just under 30. We got 25 call options. And let's see if we can make some money off these. I'll probably take my first partial in that 688 print, I'll probably take 15 of them off, and I'll leave 10 and then trim those up if we move higher. Beautiful trade though, guys. Technically, I can hold these and do whatever, but that's not my style. So. Look at that. All right, guys, getting ready to take some off here. 688 and change was the target. I'm up at 325 now. We might actually get a buck on these. $2,500. That's not a bad trade. Let's go. Look at SanDisk getting a huge bounce. Whoa. Almost 20-point bounce on SanDisk. Okay, guys, I don't like this little top in here. I'm going to take some off here. It's early. I know we're probably going to get a push here, but I don't care. We're down huge on the day as far as directional. But that helped me get nice and chunky green on the day, along with the put options that we had on the Qs. I'm tell you what, Scott, options saved my tail today. I want to say something else. I just don't want to get blocked off of. I think Scott's on a call. And you guys take those trades, by the way. I know it's difficult. Days like today, it's hard to chase the downside, and it's hard to time the bottom. And again, like coin, you guys saw it, right? I was adding, and I got full share size, and then I had to put a stop in there, just under $200. I got wiped, but literally, like, thank goodness those put options earlier in the day worked out, and then you guys were able to see the call options, so I was able to play the market both directions today. But collectively, even at the open, my bias was to the downside, and I was worried. Kind of looking back, I get to journal this stuff. So for those of you guys that aren't journaling, this is the kind of stuff you should be documenting. Cue disclaimer: it's your money, do whatever you want. But to be successful as a trader is understanding. My plan was to be short the market today. I had a bunch of names, which we mentioned all of them, right, in the chat. Majority of that watch list was all short. Microsoft, SAP, ServiceNow, Datadog, Salesforce, MongoDB, Snowflake, MP Materials, and USAR, right? The only one on there on that list that I actually was keeping an eye on just maybe for a long, right, was Coin and Meta. And I ended up taking Coin, kicking myself, is what it is. But they do have, maybe by next week will be the time I get more interested and I could hold it a little longer. Because I do think that all that stuff that's happening with the government, like, and you know, they're meeting at the White House. They're going to talk about banking, crypto leaders, or, you know, what Coinbase has to do and what digital asset laws need to be in place. And Coin right now they're like the Uber of rideshare, but specifically in crypto. Most people have a Coinbase wallet. You know, there's other people that have cold storage, blah, blah, blah. But Coinbase has a pretty, that and Robinhood, maybe. Right. So I'll be keeping an eye on Coin and Robinhood into those discussions next week. But again, back to the original point, because I was looking at some of these names and we saw a huge gap down rather than chase it. And obviously there was plenty of more room to the downside, come to find out, but we don't know that, right? Hindsight's 2020. But I used put options as a hedge, which I do typically. Only when the market, you know, deems it. Well, I put the put options on, kind of, I don't want to say forgot about them, just left them alone while I was looking around for trades. And those ended up paying off royally. And on a day like today, that could be a way for me to hedge this level of volatility, because picking the right stock on a day like today can be a challenge. To Scott's point, even like AMD, beautiful setup, looked like it should have broke out. It gave up. Can it still, you know, rise from the bottom here? Sure. Why? SanDisk is coming out with earnings tonight. AMD, SanDisk, NVIDIA, that whole chip sector space usually trades together, right? So anyway, some things to consider. um, even when you're creating a plan, a thesis on directionally what you think is going to happen. On the one hand, you could pick the stocks and be a perfect stock picker, which is always fun. But literally, like options, definitely can help on days like today. Michael had a question: deficit journal or note take? I take notes on profit and loss and label my reasons for the losses. Good. Also take the I would look at being able to journal like both profit and loss, right? So if you made a profit, what was good about it? Was it the entry? Were you patient? Was it a limit order? Right? Like the more specificity you could put on there is always good. Um, Typically, what I'll do is I'll actually look at like what I traded for the day, break down the trades, and then write down notes that I have for each one of them. So like, say for example, Microsoft would be like, hey, earnings beat bad reception, right?
Yep.
Market opens X, down Y, and then here's why I took a trade, which I didn't take Microsoft today, but as an example. Um, anyway, sorry, Scott, I was just chatting. I saw you were away there for a second.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, I agree wholeheartedly with a lot of the stuff you're saying here. The question now becomes, how does the market finish today? We've got a lot of, we talked about it before that there's a lot of time left. We got over 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and Dow's only down 130 points. The Nasdaq is the most concerning, and these tech stocks that are beaten down. Does Apple save the day? Is that something that can make it happen?
Good point. Yeah, maybe. I do like what you just mentioned though. There is a lot of time in the day. There's a few. There's like the macro, micro considerations, right? There's obviously we see what's happening with stocks. We see this big pullback. We've seen how resilient markets have been, and people have a tendency to habitually buy the dip. Um, that said, I do think um, a day like today could definitely aim like really, really sharply to the downside, basically almost snapping the bull trend, which I would argue we kind of already have done. So bulls won't want to give that up, and I would say the only saving grace right now, frankly, is the optimism around all this debasement of the dollar that's happening. Um, should I share thoughts there or no? I don't
Sure.
welcome your thoughts, Scott.
Yeah, I mean, go
It's
ahead.
an
I mean,
opinion, so I don't
yep.
I don't
No,
want to
that's
like
okay.
steer
Hey,
anybody a
everybody's
wrong
got
way.
everybody's got an opinion. That's the real deal.
Yeah, I guess I mean
So,
fundamentally, like having a weak dollar. We talked about this a little bit yesterday, but having a weak dollar, like it will. Michael saying assets rise during money printing. Well, it is something to reflect on, right? Where if you have a weak dollar, you improve trade deficits, so essentially making us more appealing for foreign trade. But because that dynamic is slowly shifting, where globalization is turning into nationalism, right? Right, like that's what's made this everything so optimistic is we all get to trade globally, right? With China, Indonesia, you name the country, we all get to have trades. Well, having a weak dollar gives us that opportunity to make us negotiate better. The trouble is, well, that and with that, more jobs are created, more production, more exports, like all that's good stuff. The trouble is now you have a weaker dollar and you have inflation going higher. So the only saving grace there would be monetary policies to step in, so the likes of a Fed, which I don't think Jerome Powell will be doing that. But fundamentally, if we have someone like whoever the new Fed chair is going to be, comes in that's super dovish, now magically you have a magic eraser. So if you need to print money or you need to buy bonds to offset that, you're in good hands. There's a lot of considerations. I'd say that's definitely like the 3 to 6 month view of looking at stuff, but that could be where we've seen this market push, push, push. Um, I think some of that has something to do with it. And maybe that's just what we've seen it. Like sometimes these bulls want to pull back in markets so they can buy stuff cheaper and then just run everybody over. That would be, I think, the only saving grace. Apple, to your point, SanDisk, to your point, um, reporting earnings tonight could be good. At the end of the day, the earnings were good for even Microsoft. It's just I guess the growth wasn't big enough, right? Being a big AI name, maybe they were expecting, hey, if you're going to spend $4 billion, maybe you should make 10. I don't know, but whatever it was, they missed that expectation, and to see it suffer, 10% or more is pretty, or 12% now. It's pretty brutal. Anyway, there's my rant.
Yeah, that's good.
What are your thoughts, Scott?
Yeah, I mean, I just I think when you start looking at it, the bigger picture here is, you know, governmental stuff, right? I mean, I don't think I think the tariffs and things like that are real, and the only problem I have, DVG, is the way that our president is dangling those and utilizing those as a bargaining chip, and he seems to be getting traction on that. He seems to be getting done what he needs to get done, but there's just a lot of times where the economy and things like that, when it doesn't go his way, he gets in there and he just starts to bully things around. But I think overall this market is a market that's going to continue to grow based on technology,
Mm.
and the technological stocks that we see are going to expand. I mean, when people come out, and like Apple's going to be nice to hear what they have to say today, but when stocks like IBM come out and NVDA come out and say, AI is strong and we're a player and this is where we're heading, and everybody's buying into that. I mean, I don't see much downside in the long run. So I think we're going to be going higher for the year. I mean, nobody invests in the market to lose money, right? But it's like the old adage saying that the market only goes up.
What goes up must come down.
Yeah,
Another way
that
of
that
looking at
too must correct a bit. Yeah,
it. Yeah.
it's
Uh,
like you want your hair to grow, you got to get it cut, right? It's adverse to what you're thinking. You think you
yeah.
just let it grow and let it grow, and it's no, you got to
I
cut it and
like
trim
that.
it
I
all the
like
way.
that analogy. That's good.
Yeah,
No, it's just, you know what though, as traders, I think it's great because you can take advantage of both directions, right? Markets move higher, you can make money. Markets lower, you can make money. I mean, investors by and large, I think the big fundamental difference, for us, if we make 2, 3, 4, 5 points, fine. And obviously you have traders that are doing, swing trading and different styles of trading, options trading, whatever. Um, but you can take advantage of both directions. I think that's the beauty of this business is uh, two things. One, it's going to be here today, tomorrow, the next day. I think that the accessibility of trading has actually, I think, helped increase financial literacy amongst younger folks, which I think is phenomenal. It's actually a big, like a passion project of mine is like helping youth get a better understanding of not only just markets but financial literacy in general. I think it's super important. So I think that's great from that perspective, and giving exposure to markets earlier for folks to understand, to learn, and as an example, like a lot of people do like to trade options. To be candid, I'm trying to grow my knowledge in the option side of the house. I've traded options plenty, but just as a strategy for both mid, long term, I've never really done that. I've usually done it just maybe in a day, maybe a week. But I'm trying to explore that to say like, hey, look, if I think maybe a movement is X, Y, or Z, and I can make by selling and buying and using a collar, different strategies, or an iron condor, whatever. There's ways that you can make money just if the price doesn't move outside of a zone, right? By a certain period of time. And you have to literally set it and forget it. That's not really my style of trading, but I'm trying to explore where I can offset my style of trading through benefiting in options, if that makes sense. And I know that someone asked a question, Scott, you said, Scott V, anyway, you can post strike price expiration date on the option trades. It takes a little longer to do that, to be honest, Scott, if I'm in the moment, but I did announce it, right? Like earlier in the day, I talked about, get some put options, but I don't think half of you guys even care about those things. But like I mentioned on the SPY ones, it was a 688 strike that expired tomorrow. We paid $2.64, and I added when they were at 248. So it bring my price down a bit. Again, I don't really like adding to those losing trades, but I was seeing some conviction on the volume side. Like, hey, if that sell side volume, I'll be wrong, and I'll be wrong quick. So I'll lose a few $100. But if I'm right, it turns into a couple $1,000, which I'll take that risk. So, but yeah, Scott. So or Scott V. Um, I don't know. Heck, if you hear me announce it, like, do you trade options? Because if I announce them, maybe you could help me out by saying like, hey, DVG, SPY, because it's usually going to be SPY or Qs, maybe IWM occasionally, depending on the volatility of IWM. But I'll usually use options on the indices versus stocks. Okay. Yeah, some people look at it as like super volatile and like gambling in a way with options. But depending on how you trade, options can be very, very valuable. And the reason being, if you get like learn the Greeks, I always say, when you look up options Greeks, it shouldn't take too long. But understanding how an option chain looks and how order flows look, the difference between open interest and volume, right? Interest in IV at the midpoint, high and low, kind of behaviorally, which do people fill in the midpoint? Do they fill at the bid or the ask? Because every option is different. It gets kind of fun to learn something new like that. But the big thing is, so typically I'll start with 10 contracts, typically. Maybe depending on the size of the, like let's say, for example, if I'm using ASML contracts, I may not have 10 just because they're going to be like $2,000 a piece. But the idea behind it is you're limiting your exposure if you have a strategy. If you're going naked, you are 100% exposed to lose all that money. So let's say you buy $2,000 worth of an option. If it expires worthless, which 99.9% of options do, you're going to be at zero, right? So that 2K could be gone unless you're trading in and out of it. So anyway, maybe I'll say that for another day. Scott, you don't really mess with options much, do you?
I don't, I mean, I think I've said it before. It's just it's a learning opportunity, and it's also time consuming to do it. And right up front, I don't need it. It's just like I'm a snow skier, and it's like, am I going to go out and
Learn
ski and spend my
snowboarding.
time to learn snowboarding? Probably
Yeah,
not,
makes sense.
So I'm kind of happy where I'm at. It's not, I know a lot of options traders that kick tail, so it's great.
Yeah, the ironically, one of my mentors, he's a very large options trader. He has his own like family practice now, but I'm looking to him to see if he can help, you know, show me the ways. He's a great guy. Well, look, I managed to flip potentially could have been a bad red day to a nice green day. And it was all thanks to options today, honestly. Like Snowflake, dud, coin, dud. I didn't short AMD, Scott, because you were in it, honestly.
It would have been a big move.
Yeah. But I am looking at coin down here, 195. I'm gonna nibble. That'll be my last trade of the day, and I'm out of here. Let me see. Let's see what we can get filled in here at. 195, please, please, please. Okay. Come on, come on. Maybe I get 195.05. 195.05. Yay! All right. We're in at 195.05 on coin. This is I might hold this into next week. I don't know. Second chance. Small size. If we start to move to the upside, I will happily multiply this position. Here's a fun stock to take a look at. Lockheed Martin. miss on EPS, crush on earnings, and it moves up almost 6%. What's MP doing? I didn't see that one yet. MP getting some bad press. And they came back and said, no, that's not true. It's not true. I don't know. What's the old adage? Buy the rumor, sell the news.
Mm-hmm.
So this rumor, is it worth buying? I don't know. I'll keep an eye on it though. Into tomorrow. Scott, I'm out of here, man. It's a little past my curfew for trading, but I appreciate you, man, and appreciate the trading community. We'll see you guys tomorrow at the open. Till then, cheers. God bless.
Yep. Take care, DVG. Good to trade with you. Traders, I'm going to head out too. I've got a red day for myself, so hopefully get it back tomorrow on a Friday. Sorry to disappoint. Not a good trading day, but that happens. So keep the powder dry. Check in later today at the close, and we'll see you then. God bless you all. Godspeed, and we'll see you later on. Bye-bye. Thanks, Clifton. Appreciate you.